Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do an acetone transfer using pure acetone. So what you would use for artificial nails and gel nails, etc. to remove, and a coarse paintbrush. So these are kind of like quite stiff for us to use. So this is what an acetone transfer looks like without the mark making skills in there. So as you can see from the original picture, it's more of an organic, natural and vintage looking image rather than it looking quite clean and pristine. So you kind of like you're looking for more of a faded look. Okay, so the image that I've picked, okay, is this one here. The reason why I've picked the image is because they've got quite a lot of ink going on. So if you was to use something that's got more of a white background, you'd probably struggle to pick out some of the pigments in there. Okay, so this has just been done on a laser jet printer. So first thing I'm going to do, the printed side, I'm going to face down onto normal copy paper. So there's no cartridge paper in this, it's just normal copy paper, facing it down. Okay, so from there, I'm going to start to use, I'm going to dip my brush in the acetone, and then I'm going to start to press quite firm onto the print. Okay, so as you can see, you're starting to see some of the ink seeping through. Okay, I am pressing quite harsh on it as well, so it's not a soft technique to use. So the next time I dip in, I am then going to change where I'm going to be using, so I'm not going to go back over the same section. Okay, so again, quite firm, pressing into it. So it covers the entire section. As what you're starting to see now from the first section, okay, this bit here, is the inks are starting to dry, so it's fading a lot more, and you'll be able to start to see this further on as well. So keep pressing down. When you think you've done enough on that section, move on to the next. And then the last bit of a section. So as you can see now from the top, it's fading quite drastically. Okay, so leaving it there. If you can give it a bit of an air dry, a bit of a blow. You're starting to see now that ink is totally fading. So that is now disappearing, so to speak. So once you feel that is dry, so it's still quite dark in this section, give it a couple of seconds to dry. We're then going to start to peel it away. So from here, nice and slowly, don't try and rip it, because remember that ink is still going to be a little bit wet. You don't want the ink to fade. We have now got our acetone transfer. So your original image, you can see the top layers of the inks have been transferred over. Obviously it's a mirrored image, and then what you then can start to do with either a pen or a pencil is start to work into some of the detail in there. So you can bring in out some more of the paint bottom. So remember, your mark making techniques don't need to be quite clean and pristine. They can be a little bit more sketchy and organic, purely because of the techniques that you've actually used in there. If you was to sort of contrast then and have a nice fine liner outline, it's not going to sort of work with what techniques you've actually used in there. So bringing out some of the tones, working into it. So An acetone transfer could be a step 1 development. You can then work into that to create even more of a development experimental piece. So bringing it round. But remember, just in areas, you wouldn't need to film the full piece composition. This is just you working into some, like so. And there you have it, an acetone transfer.